It's something so many victims of violent crime share and understand. Grief, anger, and the pain of unimaginable loss. Today in BC, the Prime Minister addressed that pain directly and personally, promising new legislation that will change the way dangerous, mentally ill offenders are treated. Natalie Clancy has the story.
The Prime Minister began his day with an emotional meeting with the family of 3 children killed by their father 5 years ago. Alan Schoenborn was found not criminally responsible and is up for a review next week that will consider his release. Away from cameras, Harper also met with the mother of those children, Darcy Clark.
Meeting Darcy and knowing, obviously other people are in similar circumstances can't help but touch you in a way that is extremely profound. Given the love we all have for our children, one cannot begin to imagine the pain and suffering.
It's because of Caitlin, Corden and Max and victims like Tim McLean, beheaded on a Greyhound bus in 2008, that the Conservatives want to change the law.
We are giving the courts the powers they need to keep those deemed too dangerous to release where they should be, in custody.
Bill C-54 would create a new designation of offenders called high-risk, non-criminally responsible. Only the courts would be able to release them instead of panels of psychiatrists. They would no longer get unescorted day passes, and their review hearings would move from yearly to every 3 years, reducing the chances of a speedy release.
It was like an awful nightmare. And now, only a few years later, things are changing for the better.
To worry every day that
Mike Clark says not having to face the possible release of Alan Schoenborn every year would reduce his sister's suffering.
she gets very terrified. And it's like reliving the emotion of, is he coming back after her? Like she'll go through the sweats, the anxieties, the everything, just pure fear.
The new law would apply to those already confined to forensic hospitals, but it won't affect killers like former Quebec cardiologist Dr. Guy Turcotte, already released less than 4 years after killing his 2 children. But advocates for the mentally ill fear this new high-risk designation goes too far.
High risk should not be determined by the severity and the atrociousness of the crime. The high risk of the individual should be determined by their response to treatment.
But victims of crime say this bill can't be passed soon enough, though legal experts say it could face a constitutional challenge. Natalie Clancy, CBC News, Vancouver.